Have you ever noticed that there is no save command in Lightroom? Well, how can that be? Let me explain. In Lightroom, you're never actually changing your original file. You're just writing metadata instructions in metadata to the catalogue. So you have the original file and you have a set of instructions on how the photo should look. Now, as long as you're in Lightroom, the two are put together seamlessly. However, what if you need to send the image with the changes to someone who does not have Lightroom? Well, you need to take a copy of the original file, you need to add the changes to it that you've made, and then you need to create a complete new file. Well, this is exactly what export does. It also allows us to do lots of other things like change the format, rename, resize, and we'll be looking at these in a minute. First, let's look at an example. Here is a raw file that I worked on earlier, and I need it as a JPEG so I can upload it to a website. I'll select the thumbnail down here. I could select more than one if I wanted, but I'll just select one for the minute, and then I'll go up to the file menu and I'll choose export. Now that will open up the export dialog box, and it's quite big, so I'll move it into the middle so you can see it. Now I could start with one of these presets here: burn full-size JPEGs, export to DNG for email. But for this exercise, I'm going to go through the whole process. Now I need to decide where I want to export them to. So for this one, let's choose the hard drive. Okay, we're now going down all these parameters here. First one, export location. Where do I want to put this file? Well, let's choose desktop. And I'd like to put it in a subfolder, and I'll call it test export. I don't need to add it to the catalogue because I've already got the original raw file in the catalogue. And existing files, well, it'll ask me what I want to do if it's another file, if it's an existing file. Next one, file naming. Do I want to rename? Well, if I did, I've got some presets here which I can start with, or I can go to edit to make my own preset. Now at the minute I don't want to. For this exercise I'm not going to rename, but there it is if you want to. Video, if I've got video files, which this isn't, then I need to include video files and then select a video format in a quality. File settings. Well, the image format, yeah, I'm going to select JPEG. Image quality, yeah, I'm happy with that at 60. The colour space, well, this is for the web, so I've got three options here, but I'm going to choose sRGB because this is for the web, and I really have no need to limit the file size. Image sizing. Do I want to resize it to fit? Well, yes I do. How do I want it to happen? Well, I want it to work with both the width and the height. I'm going to limit my width to 800 pixels and a height of 800 pixels, and I'll have the resolution, because it's for the web, I can leave that at 72 pixels per inch. Now this isn't going to give me an 800 by 800 square image. It's going to limit the longest edge to 800, so if it's a portrait format image, then the height will be 800. If it's a landscape format image, then the width will be 800. That's all that's doing. Do I want to sharpen? Output sharpening? Yes, I think I will sharpen. Got some choices for screen, for matte paper or glossy paper. Well, we're going for screen. And then you've got three options: low, standard and high. Well, low tends to be non-existent. High tends to give you really crunchy figures. It tends to be over the top. Standard, middle for diddle, I'm going for that. Metadata. Do I want all the metadata? Well, I do. If you've got some sensitive location info, you can remove it. We've got some choices here, whether you want to just use your copyright or your copyright and contact info. Yeah, let's go for that one. Do I want to include a watermark? Yes, you can. You can put a simple copyright watermark in, or you can go and edit a watermark and make one of your own. Like here, I've got a preset one that I use on when I'm exporting my images. Post-processing, what do I want to do after I've exported? you've got a couple of choices. You can do nothing. I like to show in Explorer, so it takes me straight to the folder where the exported file is, so I can have a look at it. I can open it in a viewer, and I can evaluate it. All that's left now is to click the export button. But before I do that, I want to have a think about, is this going to be an export that I'm going to do a lot? So rather than having to type in these parameters again and again and again, I can save it out as a user preset. So I'm going to go over here to add, and it's going to be in the user presets folder, and let's call it, well, I'll call it Flickr. Let's just imagine this is my standard Flickr export option, and then I'll click create, and there it is. If you just draw, if you can't see it, it's in user presets. So that's it's now stored. I'm now going to click export. And that'll now, if you look up here, that's now exporting that file as a JPEG. And when it's finished, it'll open up the folder where it lives. Well, that's the task completed. And it's now opened up a folder with that image in, exported with all them settings I specified in the export dialog as a JPEG. Okay, we'll just put that away. Now you don't even have to open the export dialog box now. You can do it from the menu. You first go and select the images that you want in the film strip, and then we go up to File, but this time we select Export with Preset, and you'll find now that your preset is here ready to go, and all you do is click on it and it will automatically complete your commands. Now I'm not going to do that because I don't want to export these three, because it doesn't give you any warning. You just click on that and the export will start. Okay, so that's how you get a copy of your file out of Lightroom with any changes that you've made there. And remember, you're exporting, you're not saving.